Mr. Hank Johnson for 2 minutes.
The gentleman from Georgia is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the ranking member, and I appreciate his work, appreciate the chairman's work on this bill. I believe that this proposal is ill-timed, and that's why I rise in opposition to it. On today, World Intellectual Property Day, the protection of our nation's intellectual property, and specifically our copyrights, is too important to take lightly. The system for the appointment of the Registrar of Copyrights has long been in place, and selection of the head of the Office of Copyrights has been within the purview of the Librarian of Congress, this nation's top librarian. The system is not broke, but the entire system, including the Library of Congress, is in need of congressional attention and upgrade. What is needed is modernization, which requires more funding. Our first order of business should be to fund adequately the operations of the Library of Congress as well as the Office of Copyrights. But in these days where we're trying to keep the government from closing, you see what we're dealing with in that regard. It's fitting that this decision remain with the librarian, as she has an interest in protecting copyrighted materials as head librarian. The nomination and consent process has been politicized with the recent theft from President Obama of a United States Supreme Court appointment serving as Exhibit A. The library has been well underfunded for many years, and separating the registrar's office would not help with the comprehensive modernization of the library or the Copyright Office. Instead, it would subject the newly independent office to the appropriations process, which, as I stated, is already failing. The Library of Congress is the premier stakeholder in the smooth and efficient operations of the Office of Copyrights. The Librarian of Congress is in the best position to monitor the operations of the Copyright Office, much more than the Office of the President. Modernization of the library has been discussed for the past 10 years. Let's do it comprehensively. Let's not start off with this proposal, which, quite frankly, doesn't pass the smell test at this time. And with that, I will yield back.